Bump and Run with Bernie and Dahlby. Presented by Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Now, here's Brett Bernheisel and Steve Dahlby.
Well, here we are. And if you saw when I was standing up, this is show 27. And this is not a Mike Trout jersey. It's a Vlad Guerrero jersey, who is my second favorite player of all time. Larry Walker is third, in case anybody wants to know that. Dahlby's not here today. He had last minute, something came up. So it's Schu and I rocking it out this week. Hi, Schu.
Hello. We're doing a show in the daytime, which is rare for us. We normally record these very late in the evening. Midday recording for us here on a Monday. I got it. Who's the number one player? You gave away number two and number three.
Trout. Trout's one.
Mike Trout's your
and
favorite.
here's in case you people have bad vision and can't tell that we're doing this during the day because of the light. There's no Miller Lite and Jameson yet. It's
a little Diet Mountain Dew. Love it.
Diet Mountain Dew is what we're rolling with this afternoon on this podcast.
I got a Coke Zero here ready to go, so we're good. We're good.
And you got what is that behind you? Like a sound booth? What is that? What does that create?
So we got the new rug here in the apartment and the wood floors. The sound bounces all over this room. So I've taken my backdrop for the other job and I've turned it to try to create a bit of a sound tunnel. It's not going to work the way I want it to because I literally did it as I was hitting the button to press the music, but it looks like I attempted something, so that's really all. And
that's a really nice rug that we can't see. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's recap last week real quick. Good week for my co-host, or our co-host, Dahlby. Troy Merritt finished fourth this week in the Valero Texas Open. Another top 10 for him. J.J. Spawn won the tournament. Too bad. I wish Troy could have had the last 3 holes back. He had a chance to win the golf tournament, and unfortunately, if you watch the tournament, 16 at this course is weird. It's a par 3 that has a bunker in the middle of the green, kind of like at Riviera. And I don't know if Troy misclubbed or didn't hit it real well, but it came up short, and he literally had 2 options. He could have 3 options. He could have putted it like way left of the hole and left himself, 20 feet. He could have taken a sand wedge and tried to fly it over the bunker and try to spin it. Or he did what I would have done and everybody that I've ever played with in our Tuesday match would have done. He tried to putt through the rough and the fringe, and he hit it a little too hard and left himself 8 feet. And unfortunately missed it. Excuse me. And then on 17, the drivable par 4, he kind of pulled it a little bit and left himself 45 to 50 yards and actually hit it too good and it went over the green. Was fortunate enough to make the 8-footer coming back for par, and then he missed an 8-footer in the last hole for birdie. That would have got him in second place. But overall, a good tournament for him. He goes from 64th to 46th in the FedEx Cup, and also goes from 98th to 91st in the world. Not just 91st in something. He's the 91st best player in the world. So he's playing really good golf, and I expect, and like Dahlby said in the past, he expects good things the rest of the year. And his other guy, Sean O'Hare, finished 12th on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's now 50th on that points money list. So he's got a lot going on with his players. O'Hare's like 300 and something in the world. But the big news right now, Schu, is about the 973rd ranked player in the world. Okay? And a lot of people are like, well, who cares about number 973? Well, everybody does. And that's Eldrick Tiger Woods, who is, as we speak, just finished up playing here today at Augusta, his second or third round practicing, trying to see if his legs can do it. And right now it looks favorable, but he still hasn't. He's in the tournament. He's in the list of field. And one thing that's weird and different about Augusta is that you can withdraw at any time. Normally, the guys try to withdraw before the tournament starts. I shouldn't have said you can withdraw at any time because you can't if you get hurt. But he doesn't have to make a full commitment to say he's playing yet. He's in the field because he didn't deny the invitation. But we'll have to see if he's able to go. And I'll tell you what, if this is my opinion, if he plays this tournament, it could be the biggest watch sporting event ever. Your thoughts, Schu?
Well, that's a big claim, right? That's a big claim.
Remember I said my opinion.
No, and I understand why you would say that, right? I mean, but I certainly think the Sunday that he won the Masters a couple of years ago is up there in terms of most watched sporting events, right? Late in the day Saturday, we learned that the weather's going to force them into threesomes, so he gets put in the final group. We know that Tiger, for the first time in a long time, has a chance to win a major, and it's the Masters, right? There's a lot of stuff that went into that. That's interesting. That's not one of the angles that I had considered, and there's a lot of angles to discuss here. Look, you've seen the pictures, right? Tiger's out there playing. He played there today as we're recording this, and there are pictures of just everyone there to see him play. I'd be shocked if he didn't play at this point, right, Bernie? I mean, that's where I'm at with this. Like, he's going through all of the necessary steps in order to play, and I know he's doing the right thing publicly by saying game time decision, not sure if I'm going to play, because he doesn't want to come out and say, yes, I'm definitely playing, and then something last minute comes up with his body, and he just doesn't. He is going to make this decision last minute, but all signs point to him giving it a go, right? I mean, I think he plays.
If you had a dictionary near you and you looked up the word letdown, Tiger Woods not playing in the Masters this year should be the definition of that word.
And he knows that, right? He's aware of that. He's aware of that, the narrative around this, right? This is the biggest piece of golf news in terms of whether or not a player is going to play in a tournament in a very long time. Right? I mean, I don't think anything rivals this. Now, it's Tiger, right? So that's the way that this works. But when you consider where we were when he had the accident, the Genesis, 2 years ago, nobody thought this day would ever come. And there's a chance that he's going to play in this event. That's insane. It's insanity. And so, yeah, there's buzz around it. I will tell you, Bernie, I have Twitter open on the other screen for the day job, and I have it open all day long. The people sharing the pictures of the groups of people that are following him around for a practice round just shows you the magnitude of Tiger Woods. These pictures look like it's a Sunday.
It's Monday.
The only reason why
Monday.
The only reason why I know it's not a Sunday is because he's not wearing red. But that's the only difference.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's a practice round. He's going to play 9 holes. I mean, this is it's insane. I mean. The joke is, the PIP money that they give away, to these guys out there on the tour. All he has to do is tweet 2 letters. 2 letters is all he has to tweet, and he wins the PIP this year. And those 2 letters are IN. I'm in. That's it. It's over. Give him the $15 million, and we'll see who battles for second. Let's go from there. But it was him today, Justin Thomas, and Freddie Couples. Okay, you got the guy that never goes away in Freddie Couples. You got the 973rd player in the world. Who cares? And you got Justin Thomas. But yet there's everybody out there was watching this group. Then you have a group. You have a group on the other side that's Shane Lowry. It was all the European guys, which would be a great 3 or 4-some to watch. And they had 25 people. It's nuts. I can't. I hope he plays. I really do. I think
no, Bernie, he's playing. I'm willing to go out. He's playing. He's not going to do all this. He showed up as early as he did. He's been prepping, right? Like, I could see him internally debating about giving it a go and showing up like yesterday. He's been there for a week now already? Was hitting golf balls? Yeah. He's been there already. He's going through the preparation that we normally see him go through to get ready for something like this. He's playing. He's playing 9. He already played around there already, if I'm not mistaken, right, to see how his body was gonna react. So he played that. He's played 9. He's seeing how his body's gonna react to playing rounds very close to each other. He's playing. Now, there's a separate conversation to have here of what the expectations are, but he's playing.
He's not. Hold on. 2 things, and I agree. I think he is playing. 2 things. It's like Dahlby talked about last week on this inconsistent podcast. That once again is inconsistent, so we're doing it during the day, and I'm wearing a baseball jersey. Is that walking this golf course, and to all the people that have been there, they know what I'm talking about. I haven't been there. Well, I remember I went to the gate and they told me to turn around, so I have been there. This is like hiking Camelback Mountain. This is going up and down Camelback. I mean, it's not like to you expert climbers, Camelback Mountain's probably a nothing. But just because he walked yesterday, he walked today or whatever, doesn't mean that he's going to be able to walk tomorrow. Now, here's on the second thought of what you just said, expectations. Tiger ain't going there just to be a fill-in.
Well, he
ain't going there just to play.
Right.
He ain't doing it.
He's going there because he thinks if he plays, this is the difference, right? If he says out loud, "I'm playing, I'm in," you know what his expectations are. Yeah. He expects to be in the mix on Sunday on the 18th tee box. Like, that's the expectation from Tiger Woods. And so with that in mind, I'm going to kind of reverse engineer this a little bit. It tells me if he's playing, his body's fine. Like, if he makes the decision that he's playing, then he's in. He feels like his game's in a good spot. He feels like he can go out there and compete with the best of the best. And let's be fair, when he last won this event, and I'm not trying to put the expectations on Tiger that he's going to win, because I'm here to tell you, I get to make first pick in who you got later today. He's not my pick. I'm not taking him. He was not expected to win that event. Came from behind. First time he had ever done it. He was not the player that he was 5-10 years before that, right? Was a totally different player. Had to remake his game. But guess what allowed him to win? He understands that course better than anybody in the field, and it's not even close. I don't know who you would put number 2. You'd probably put Phil number 2, and he's not playing. So here's a guy who knows this course inside out, knows every little intricate detail of how to excel in this course, maybe when you're not playing your best. So you add that with maybe he finds himself where he's healthy, he feels like he can give it a go. It's going to be must-see TV, but I don't know. I don't know. We're dealing with something we've never dealt with before.
Yeah, and he's and to add to what you're saying, he's not going there to make the cut and get a slap on the back and say, "Hey, great job, man. You did well. You finished."
He's not going for the paycheck.
You finished 34th. Yeah, hey, great tournament. First tournament back. But the thing is, even if he's healthy enough to walk and his game's not there, he won't play. He won't.
Right.
Because the last thing Tiger wants to do. And he's not going to embarrass himself. Well, I mean, if he went out and shot 84, 83 or what, he would. But he's not. I mean, he's not. You're right. He's not there for the paycheck. I just wish.
But Bernie, hold on, because I don't. This is just me speaking. Casual golf fan. He could go shoot an 84. He can go shoot an 84. I don't think that would be embarrassing. The man was in a car crash. Wrecked his car. We didn't know he was going to be able to walk again. He could shoot 120, and I would give him a standing ovation. Now, an 84 would be embarrassing to him because he knows how good he is still at this age with everything that's happened. He still has the expectation of, I need to shoot a certain number because I think I can win this thing. But if he went and shot an 84, I wouldn't find that embarrassing as a fan. Wouldn't change how I feel about him in the slightest.
No, it's not going to change from from our standpoint, and then we can say, well, you know what? He shot 84 because he's been injured, and he gave it the best he got, and things like that. So he's gonna get a hall pass if he plays. Whatever he does, he's gonna get a hall pass. If he misses the cut, it's because of this. If he played bad, it's because that's just the way it is. But in his mind, he doesn't want a hall pass. He ain't gonna take a hall pass. He's there to win the golf tournament. Period. End of story. Do I think he can win? No, I don't. I don't see any way he can win this golf tournament, and somebody's going to have to prove me wrong, or he's going to have to prove me wrong. But there's no way I think he can win this golf tournament. I think the players. This is arguably the 60 best players in the world, and it's not. We're not playing, somewhere else. And I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but Bernie, you know what? This is Tiger's home. He lives there. He knows everything about this. He knows that. The ball breaks this way towards Rays Creek and does this and all that. I get it. I hope he plays. I hope he plays in the tournament. I hope he plays well. I hope he wins. But do I think he's going to win? No shot.
No, and I don't think – I think there's a difference between what his expectations are and what our expectations are, right? I think there's a difference between those two things. And I think ultimately we're going to see what happens if he decides to play. Now, maybe you and I look extremely foolish and he backs out, but I don't think he would go through all of this to then say, I'm not playing. I really don't. And I think if he steps foot into that first tee box Thursday morning or afternoon, whenever his tee time is, that means he thinks internally, not only am I healthy enough to play, but I'm healthy enough to win this thing. That's what that means if he steps foot into that tee box. Now, can we talk about just the Masters in general for just a second? Because
I listen. It's afternoon. I can go.
It's a great point.
We can get to the bourbon. We can get to the Jameson and the beer by the time this thing ends. I don't care.
Because I want to talk about how last week and the poor Valero Texas Open is kind of smashed in between two events that I think generates more buzz than the Valero Texas Open. Because the week before you have a match play event. Everybody loves a match play event, right? They love the group stage, playing everybody, and I think match play is a format that the casual golf fan likes. Okay, that's fine. You know that's my personal taste for golf, and I like that. I love the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup for that reason. So you have that, and then you have the best major of the year, right? The best tournament of the year. True. And then in between is the Valero Texas Open right in the middle. Like this week, I was just like, I made my pick and I was watching how Corey Connors did, but other than that, there was not a lot of attention paid to the golf this weekend because I knew what was coming up. I knew what was around the corner, and I knew what we had just finished up with. So it's weird. I always feel bad for the tournament right before the Masters and the tournament right after the Masters because you're just not going to follow whatever that is. You're not going to be able to live up to what the Masters is every week. Every year.
I agree with you. I agree. This is my favorite tournaments in order are the Masters, the Players Championship, the U.S. Open, and the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Those are my four in order. I know why is the Waste Management instead of the British Open or the PGA? Just because I like. There's something about me that I can tell you every hole at Augusta, even though I've only been to the Out Shack or whatever the thing's called, the gate. I can tell you every hole at the Players Championship, and I've never caddied there. I've caddied in gazillion Waste Management Phoenix Opens. I can tell you the golf. I like courses that in my mind I can tell you every single hole. Like there's other tournaments like the PGA moves every year, the British Open moves every year, so you don't really know all the holes because they change so many times. But that's the one thing I like about Augusta is I know every hole. In my mind, they're on 6. Oh, God, they're on 7, the uphill par. Oh, yeah, okay, I know exactly. 8, the dogleg left par 5. 9, downhill, back uphill. 10, downhill, back up. Yeah, I know it all. This year it's a little bit different because they added length to number 11, which made the hole harder. They added length to 15 this year, where Morikawa said today that the golf course is playing really fast, and he's never seen it play that fast before. And he hit a perfect drive, not perfect. It was a little left on 15, and he had the same distance that he had last year when the tees were 20 yards up because the course is running a little bit faster. A fast, hard, rolling fairway Augusta, sign me up. Sign me up all day long. That's what I want to see because, they're supposed to get weather on Thursday, and then it's supposed to be good the last 3 days. I hate when this golf course is soft. I hate when I love it when it's hard and fast and firm, and the greens are 14 running 20. I love that. I just love this tournament. It's my favorite tournament of the year, and I got to go to a wedding this weekend.
Oh, no. Somebody schedules a wedding for Masters weekend? That's almost as bad as scheduling a wedding during the NFL season. I have my best friend. I'm in the wedding. He did it. He did it to me.
Okay, I got to tell a quick story about weddings during Augusta, okay? So I get engaged 9 years ago. Okay, we just celebrated our 8th anniversary last week. Or was it this week? I don't know. Last week. And he says, when do you want to get married? I said, I don't care. Just as long as it's not the Masters. And Christmas, Thanksgiving, I don't care. Pick a day. Let's do it. Let's get it done. So
now the missus is home while you're telling this story, just so everybody's clear. She is home.
I think she just left.
Okay, she did make an appearance in the bunker before the show started, so.
She did. She wanted to make sure I had enough batteries in case this
please.
iRig 2 goes down. We don't, so we got to get through the show. So anyway, so she calls me and she goes, "Hey, how you doing? Good. What's up? We're going to get married April 10th. I said, all right, perfect. Yep. All right, great. Hang up. And I'm like, wait, what? So I start scrolling down. I go, Masters. Ain't going to happen. No, half the people that are coming to my wedding or our wedding are golf fans, and I'm not having it. It ain't happening. So I called her. I said, hey, it's the Masters. What? Yeah, it's the Masters. We're not getting married on that day. I would say the word with some of the words she said to me, but I'm not going to say it on air. I don't care if I can say the words, but I don't want you folks thinking that my wife is like me at all. So, but she cussed me out and hung up on me and told me to pick the date. Well, we ended up getting married on a Friday. Okay, weddings usually are on Saturdays. There was only one day open, so we ended up getting married on a Friday, not during the Masters week. So Yes. Who plans a wedding during the Masters? I don't know, but there should be no weddings ever during the Masters.
Yeah, weddings around like the NFL season, like it's just so tough for me with work. And when people schedule I'm like, you're killing me. Yeah, you're just killing me. And my buddy's getting married on a Tuesday. Get this, he's getting married on a Tuesday. I got to fly in the weekend before.
So this wedding's on a Saturday night, okay?
Okay.
And then there's a family function on Sunday during the day.
No. Weddings are a 1 day affair. Anybody who attempts to stretch them past the day in which you do the ceremony and the reception, I'm out. If you want to do something before, like the rehearsal dinner, the walkthrough, very understandable. That makes sense. After the reception is done and I leave, there is zero obligation from me at that point. None whatsoever.
Even though I've got all the shots, I think I got COVID.
Oh, so you're gonna okay, all right. That's I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I don't feel well.
So, okay. I would go with maybe I don't feel well rather than I have COVID after you just were with a bunch of people, but that's fine.
Well, I don't have to go to the Saturday night thing either.
Well, okay, I'm not going to endorse here on the show. I'm just trying to get you out of the Sunday thing. I do not think you are obligated in any capacity. It also depends on how well you know these people, but I do not believe you are obligated to do anything on Sunday. No.
Yeah. Hey, a question. Since you do a lot more of these things than I do, and you interview more people than I do, I was watching the press conference today with Morikawa at Augusta. Stand up, ask your question, and Morikawa, looks at him like, really, that's the question you're going to ask, and then, really, I'm not going to answer that question. Stupid stuff like that. I know most media people aren't the brightest people in the world, and I'll put myself up there. I don't consider myself media much anymore, but do you always write down the questions you're going to ask all the people you interview? I mean, is this all? Do you do it like that? I mean, pre-scripted? Because I mean, when these guys this guy, he started off and he says, "Hi, Colin, I'm Bob. Hey, Bob. I'm from the same hometown you are. Oh, great. Okay. And we have a mutual friend in this guy. Oh, okay. He just wanted me to tell you hello. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. And that's, I mean, stupid. I mean, this looks stupid. I mean, I don't pre-script anything.
No.
Like when we have Monday Q on, or Schu and I, there's nothing scripted here. Let's go.
None whatsoever. I mean, you texted me yesterday. You're like, hey, we're going to talk about this, this, and this. And I think I literally texted you back, okay, cool. Like, that was literally all I said. Yeah, it just depends. Like, I do, in today's world, and specifically during draft season, right, we do a lot of interviews on Zoom where we'll get a player. And, like, the guys who are doing the interviews, like, they've done research on the player, right? Because they've scouted the player, they've watched the player on film, they've read about the player. Do they have specific questions written down? They might have one or two, but you have to react. Now, there's a difference between a sit-down interview with somebody and a press conference media availability, right? You approach those things two very different ways. In a press conference media availability, yeah, I might have a question that I want to talk about because I know what kind of story I'm writing, or I know what I'm doing. But yeah, like it's not a social hour, right? Like, I'm going to ask my question, and I'm somewhat prepped in the question I'm going to ask. And if somebody takes my question, I'm going to come up with another one, or I'm not going to ask a question, right? You don't have to ask a question. You can just choose to be skipped if you want.
Because the next guy, and this is what leads me to the most stupid question, is they said, okay, Colin, can you take me back to the Hero Challenge, which was Tiger's tournament, 5 months ago? Did you know if you would have played well the last round, you would have become the number one player in the world? And Morikawa looked at him and he goes, yeah, it's hard not to know that. Okay, that's my only question. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
dumb?
It's just not. It's just not a good question, right? Like,
no.
And I didn't see the media availability, but based on what you're telling me, it doesn't sound like a good question.
I babble on the show all the time, but sometimes because I've had too much Jameson.
Well, now it's just too much Diet Mountain Dew here, in mid-afternoon.
The show is sponsored today by Diet Mountain Dew.
It is. I did not know
Zero
that.
calories, great taste.
Okay, I'm very excited for you.
Is the Masters your favorite tournament?
For what? 1,000%, not even close. I don't know what would be second.
Do you watch start to finish on Sunday?
Start to finish on Sunday, absolutely. Without question. And now if I'm doing other stuff, it'll be background noise. Like I'll put it on, and then obviously I'll be keeping up with the feature group. But yes. Oh, it's on. It is on. Yes. It is something I obviously pay attention to because, again, for me, it's one of those things where because it's in the same place every year, when the best players in the world step up to 12 or 13 or 14 or name the hole, I can be like, okay, they got to avoid this here on this hole. Oh, they don't want to go here because there's a little creek that runs down and they're going to have to take a penalty. Okay, maybe you can hit the little cut shot in here. Like, I know what they should do in a certain spot, right? I couldn't go out there and do it, but I know, okay, this is what you want to avoid. If you hit this kind of shot, you're in good shape. Watch out for this tree line here on this hole. Like I'm able to kind of be a armchair analyst at home and be like, okay, this is what this player should do. And that's a cool feeling for me. Whereas like, I don't know, the U.S. Open's in a different course every year, right? So I just don't know the intricacies of a course because you don't see it very often, right? There are courses, right? Like Pebble, Pebble because it's in the rotation every so often. Like the British Open courses.
They also play they play another tournament there too.
Sure, but like the British Open, I don't know. Just the rotation there, I have no idea. I'm as surprised as everybody else when I turn on the TV. But the Masters, yeah, you know where did it? I know everything about it, right? You know when a certain pin placement, you're like, oh, it's going to be tough to get it in there. They're going to have to hit this kind of shot, and so that's the cool part for me, and that's probably why it's my favorite.
It's definitely my favorite. So I saw a prop bet today.
Ooh,
because you were just talking about pin placements. That my MGM. They're not sponsored by MGM, but I do donate to MGM.
I like how you phrase that. Donate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a write-off at the end of the year. I don't know if people knew that, but you can write it off. So my CPA always loves to write off of that.
Your gambling losses.
Do you think there'll be a hole-in-one on 16 this year?
Hole-in-one on 16. Can you tell me what the odds are?
Yeah, so you have to bet 125 to win 100 on yes.
So yes is minus 125 is what you're telling me.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty strong.
There's
minus
usually
125.
So there's usually we all know how the pins go there. One's gonna be front right, one's gonna be back right, and the other two are gonna be left of the swale. So there's gonna be 2 days of opportunities to catch the slope and have luck come into effect.
The one back right, impossible. You're never going to get it. It's not going to happen. No. It's too much to judge, and you're gonna hit the slope. The front right one's not easy either because if you hit it too long, you're going to catch the slope too. If you hit it too short, you're going to come down to the front. So I don't. The front one isn't great either. I'll go no.
And I'm contemplating making this wager.
Minus 125 strong. Like that being the favorite's a bit of a shock to me.
See, to me, it's not. I mean, don't you just go back every year? Somebody makes a hole-in-one there. It seems like. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it just seems like every year somebody, one or two guys, make hole-in-ones there, back-to-back groups. I mean, it always seems like that, especially on the last day. Somebody takes that back right, that back left pan, hits it on the hill, and all of a sudden you hear the crowd. Oh, yeah! Every year it seems like there's a highlight there.
No, for sure. I mean, Tiger almost had one the year that he won it, right? A couple of years ago, he almost had the one where it rolled in. I'd still go no. Minus 125 is not enough juice.
All right. Well, that's why you don't donate.
That's why I don't have to go to my CPA at the end of the year with gambling losses.
Yeah, my face looks really red during the day.
Well, it's because you got your lighting setup's probably not that great. You probably got the light coming in from the window in the bunker, and then you probably got a ceiling light on as well. So the lighting during the day is a little different than the lighting at night. So
there's no ceiling light. There is a window, and I have two lights that are on.
Okay, so so you got lights of different color, right? The light coming into the house is a different color than the two lights that are coming in from the two lamps or whatever you have in the house. So that's probably.
But my Payne Stewart stuff in the back looks a lot better. There's Payne right there. Greatest player ever right there. Payne Stewart.
We have to have a conversation about the who you got stuff behind you as well, but that's... Are we going to go there now? We can go there now.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my spiel ready. Ready?
Okay.
All right, it's time for Who You Got? Presented by our good friends at Burrito Express and Diet Mountain Dew. All right, so we did a pre-show We bid it.
No. You don't get
seconds.
you don't get to walk. No, you don't get to walk out of this. Show the board. It says Schu at 32, Dahlby at 21.5, and Bernie at 17.5. That's incorrect, everybody. Those numbers are false. There is a conspiracy against me to try to because I didn't win by myself this week. I actually just tied with Dahlby by picking Corey Connors, but Bernie tried to put me in second place, saying that Maverick McNeely beat Corey Connors when in fact that is not what happened. They tied both at 5.5. So or 5 under. So I get another half point. I get 2.5 points this week. Bernie, your Abraham answer was not the answer. He withdrew from the tournament before it started, so you are docking yourself any points. You get no points for participating, and I get 2.5, so does Dahlby. So we got to do some math there to that board.
How's my luck? The guy would draw. He's a lock to win the tournament.
All right, I have the board up. Do you want to have your? Do you want me to go through your? Since we've doing this in the Genesis, you took Thigala coming off the week that he had at the Waste Management.
Yeah, might not have been very good.
You took Oosthuizen in the Classic.
He let me down.
Keith Mitchell in the Arnold Palmer.
He let me down too.
And then the last two tournaments, Sean O'Hare and Abraham Answer.
Well, the Sean O'Hare was a panic.
Well, right, but
I already went through that last week. It was a panic.
It was a panic
because I didn't
decision.
want to pick somebody that wasn't going to play, and I didn't want to guess. And you guys would have ridiculed me, probably kicked me off the show. So this week I went with a very safe, winning the tournament, Abraham Answer, and he withdraws.
You did pick somebody this week who didn't play. So you were worried about that with Sean O'Hare. You ended up doing it this week. Just saying.
All right. Your first pick. Dahlby has texted me. What? Oh, my God. That's who he's picking? There's no way you're picking this dude.
I told you last week.
You already had it?
I already had my guy.
Okay.
This guy played well.
Oh, boy.
At the match play event. This guy is very good at the match play. This guy's familiar with the Georgia area in terms of tournaments.
You're going with the short guy.
This guy does not hit it very long, and it could be difficult here at Augusta. But
you're going with your favorite player.
I'm going with my favorite player. Give me Kevin Kisner. Write it in there. Give me a kiss.
Man, you guys are setting me up here. Dahlby, I don't know if he might be drunk. He's taking Captain America, Patrick Reed.
He's taking Patrick Reed. Okay, I've got it written down here.
So you guys just gave me the layup. Give me the winner of this year's Masters and the 6 points to go along with this. Give me Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas. Let me just make sure everybody's above board here. Yes, all three of these players are available to be taken.
I'm telling you right now, this is just my take. I think either he wins it or Koepka wins it. Those are my two picks, and you know, you look at the form of these guys coming into this tournament. You look at, you know, Cantley, Morikawa. Cam Smith hasn't played in a while, but he's in good. I mean, there's so many. Dustin Johnson's in good form. There's so many players right now that, you know, that's the thing about the Masters being a smaller field. You know, the 90-something players that they have this year, depending on what Eldrick wants to do, you can probably throw 15 to 20 of those guys out right off the start. You know, any amateur. You know, anybody that's 65 or older, you know, some of those, there's this, I'm excited not because, I'm excited just because of the word Masters. Augusta Masters, I don't care who's playing. I'm watching it. But this year, there's so many players that I would not be shocked by. I'd be shocked if Bryson DeChambeau won. I'd be shocked if Tiger won. I'd be shocked if Kevin Kisner won.
Come on.
Yeah, sorry.
The role I'm on, I haven't lost in a month, and now you're going to take shots?
Yeah, the casual golf fan has been on a roll. But, I mean, that's the cool thing about this tournament is that there's so many different and that so many different players can win it. Because you're right. You have to have length, but you don't have to bomb it and get, you know, This tournament's about course strategy,
course management, man.
Knowing the nuances of the golf course and where, and I think one of the statements you hear a lot of players say is you got to miss it in the right spot, and that's hard for me to understand. Not from what they're saying, is because when you're over a shot, I don't think I've ever thought about, okay, if I'm going to miss it, I'm going to miss it over here to the right. So I purposely hit it over I get it. You can't miss it short side and things like that, but that's a terrible, in my opinion, terrible statement to make, because you're already telling yourself, if you're going to miss it right. So your tendency now is to miss it right, where, I don't like the saying, but it doesn't matter. Here I am babbling again, and I'm not even drinking. That's what's stupid. Yeah.
Kisner, Patrick Reed, Justin Thomas. We all went with big names. Because listen, after the disaster of Dustin Johnson at the Genesis for me, in which he did not play particularly well, I didn't use a lot of the big names that I could have the following weeks to get back. I did not go with top 10, top 5 players. Kisner is a popular name. Kisner's a well-known name, so I used one of the players that you keep for these types of events, and I certainly think if I was stacking the 3 picks that we made, I would put myself third. But that's the beautiful thing about who you got. There's sometimes where you feel that way and you come out as the winner, because I don't have to win the event. I just have to beat your guys. That's all that has to happen. So that's the exciting part.
Yeah, but you didn't know who we were going to pick.
I didn't, but now that I know, that's all I got to do is I got to beat Justin Thomas and Patrick Reed. Come on, Kiz.
It's a double point week. Don't forget.
It's a double point week, yes. And so that big lead that I have could be closed in on. It's also not accurate. Again, I think I have more points than 32, but just want that to be clear. Okay. I know you said you watch it from start to finish on Sunday. Do you watch it from start on Thursday? So Thursday and Friday, it's obviously the work week for me, so it'll be on one of the 3 screens that I have in here for work, and so I'll follow a featured group throughout the day, and it'll probably be Kiz if I'm able to watch him.
He's not going to be a featured group.
Well, come on, it's Kisner. He's going to be one of the groups. You don't know we don't know the draw yet, do we? So he could be in a group. I'm here to tell you, if he's playing with Tiger, you're going to get a lot of coverage of Kevin Kisner, okay?
So let's go back to Tiger before we finish this fine, inconsistent podcast. If he plays the tournament,
yes,
first tee, besides other players' spouses, girlfriends, family members, is there any other spectator not at the first tee?
No, everybody's at the first tee. Well, I shouldn't say that, because some people will follow other golfers. And they'll plant themselves on a certain hole and then watch. But no, I think everybody will be there on that first tee for Tiger Woods.
Because what I've heard, a buddy of mine, Adam, told me that if you let's say you can't run, you cannot, once the gate opens, you cannot run or they kick you out. So you have to walk fast. But you can go to any hole you want with your chair, stick that chair wherever you want it, and it stays there the entire day. So if you want to go back to the first tee and watch Tiger, you can. Because if Tiger plays, he's not going to be the first group. He's not going to be the second group. He's not going to be the third group. He's going to be middle of the day. He's going to be 13th group off the first tee, or hell, they might even put him last, which would be even cooler. I just hope he plays, and that's But this is my favorite week of the year, and I've got to go to a fucking wedding, so I'm not real happy.
Well, you have fun at your wedding. I will have fun watching the Masters this weekend on the television. It's fun. It's fun this time of year because it's the Masters, but I think the added cherry on top of Tiger potentially playing and the storylines that would bring has just made this a very newsworthy and buzzworthy week, and that's fun. So it'll be exciting. And it would be disappointing if Tiger chooses not to play. There's still a lot to be excited about in the field, and the tournament is still fun. So it's going to be a fun week regardless. And even though we're inconsistent, I have a pretty good feeling we'll be back next week to recap it. So that'll be fun.
All right, Schu. Thanks, buddy. Dahlby, hope everything goes well. I don't know what I'm going to do for 28. I don't have a jersey with 28. I'm going to have to maybe use that sign company again.
See what the sign company's up to. See what they're doing.
Well, you want to talk about inconsistent. Do you think this podcast is inconsistent?
The sign company.
The sign company. Very inconsistent. Terrible. I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. They get F rating in the Better Business Bureau, I think. All right, Schu. Have a good week. We'll see you next week, pal.